Everybody, it is your boys Tony Teton West and the co-host, a host, my brother from another mother, Cam. We back again with another episode, man. Episode 14, man. We moving through this thing, man. We've been doing this thing for a few months now, but my brother Cam, how you doing, man? How's everything going, bro? How your week going, brother?
Chilling, man. It's been a solid week.
Yeah.
Um, I can't really complain. How about you? How
I'm
everything
doing
going?
pretty good, man. I can't complain. The weather is beautiful out. Like today, man, was just so the
Mm-hmm.
perfect weather, bro. Like it literally was the perfect weather. It was like 64 degrees, sunny. I went and walked on my lunch break today. It was just nice, bro. Like I really enjoyed the weather, and I'm hoping it stays like this. I hope it don't get too cold quite yet, because I ain't quite ready for the super cold temperatures. Let's keep
No,
this 64, 65. Let's keep them type of vibes around for right now. I ain't trying to go
that's
to
what I'm
no
saying.
50 and all that. I ain't trying to do none of that, bro. So, but yeah,
That's
everything
what I'm
going
saying.
pretty good, man. I can't really, you know what I'm saying? I can't really complain, man. Everything going pretty good, man.
Yeah, I just I'm like you, man. When I don't like the cold weather, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. God bless, bro. God
Yeah,
bless. Hope you
appreciate you,
good too,
man.
man.
Appreciate you. We already got the supporters
But
coming in, man. Appreciate
yeah,
y'all's love and support. So tonight gonna be a really fun podcast, man. So tonight we're midway through the college football season already, man. It's crazy how fast that sport goes by. So we'll talk a lot about that. The Oregon Washington game was an absolute movie. I forgot to bring this up too. The whole Stanford and Colorado, that tobacco right
oh
there,
yeah,
blowing a 29
yeah.
point lead. We'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about Dabo's comments that I really did not like. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about Shane Beamer. Pretty much the state of college football in the state of South Carolina. We're gonna talk about tonight. Um, Also as well, we're gonna jump into a lot of NFL talk, some good talk. Go back and talk over some of our like predictions from the preseason and stuff like that. We'll talk about that. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a fun night, man. We already got people tuning in. Appreciate y'all's love and support, man. Everybody pulling up tonight. So we appreciate the love and support already, man. But this is gonna be a fun episode, man. So y'all tap in and go ahead and tweet out the links and share and all that. We really do appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get it started, man. Let's talk about college football, man, because I felt like last week was a really good week. Like the noon games was trash. I ain't gonna lie. Like the noon games was really bad. I think the top four teams like blew everybody out. It was really boring. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm,
But that 3:30 schedule, and mainly the game we about to talk about now, that Oregon and Washington game was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed every bit of that game. It was exactly what college football is all about. For one, I don't think people realize this. Washington has one of the most like beautiful stadiums in the country. Like it sits off the lake right in Seattle. It was just beautiful fall looking trees in the background. It was just beautiful, bro. Like I really enjoyed, and the game was even better. Like the game was so good, and I really enjoyed it. We'll talk about the game in a few seconds here, but I just really wanted to give Washington a shout out because I felt like they did a really good job just bringing the college atmosphere to the whole,
yeah.
college game day. It was just beautiful, bro. Like I really just enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, man, I want to talk about the game a little bit as well. Um, Oregon came into this game, and I'm glad they didn't drop low in the rankings because I feel like this game really could have went anyway, honestly. But
Yeah.
Washington got the win. They won 36-33. Oregon's first loss on the season, but again, I mean, I thought it was a tremendous game, bro. It really could have went either way. I just want to kind of read off some of the stats. Michael Penix Jr. I mean, I think we're talking about the Heisman winner at this point.
Yeah.
22 for 37, 302 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dylan Johnson was really good and effective for the Huskies. 20 carries for 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Them wide receivers that Washington got, that Rome Adunzi and that Jalen Polk guy, both of them guys is elite. I would even put Giles Jackson in there as well. All of those guys was going off. Rome had 8 receptions for 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Polk had 6 receptions for 118 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Giles Jackson had 6 catches for 58 yards and 1 touchdown. So they did a really, really good job. I'll read off Oregon real quickly. I thought Bo Nix played a tremendous game. 33 for 44, 337 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bucky Irvin had a tremendous game. He's going to make a lot of plays in the NFL. 22 carries
Mm-hmm.
for 127 yards, 1 touchdown. And even Jordan James was really good too. Their backup running back. They kind of did
Yeah.
this 1-2 punch thing. He was
Yeah.
11 for 63, 1 touchdown. And then Troy Franklin. I know a lot of Panthers fans been fawning over this guy, and I see why. Troy Franklin is really freaking good, bro.
Yeah,
Like he's good. He went 8 for 154 and 1 touchdown, bro. Cam, how did you feel about the game? I'll let you kind of go first since I rattled off all that. How did you feel about the game in general? Because I thought that was the best game in college football this season, the Oregon-Washington State game. It was the best one I've seen.
Yeah, I agree. It was very much as advertised, and like
Yeah,
you said, when it comes to really the college football atmosphere, that's the type of game that, and I know you can agree to this.
yeah,
That's the type of game that makes college football so much. Honestly, in my opinion, it's the best, probably the best sport. In my
yeah,
opinion, it's probably the best sport because just that atmosphere, and I can speak to it. Just being, when I was at Clemson and when we were top dogs, right? Like just the atmosphere of playing other great teams, hosting them, storming the field after a big win, what I'm saying, a close game. Even after, I mean, a lot of teams storm the field regardless, but a game like this where you knocked off a conference opponent, what I'm saying, a high ranked conference opponent. They was what, 7-8, right? Washington was 7, Oregon
yep.
was 8, or is the
Mm-hmm.
other flavor something?
Yeah, it was 7 and 8. Yep.
7, 8. So just the magnitude of it. You know what I'm saying? It lived up to the hype. Both the quarterback play was outstanding. I'm with you. I'm glad Oregon didn't fall far because that's the type of game that you want to see those guys play again. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah,
That's the type of game where the reason why the college football playoff is expanding because
yeah,
both of those teams are absolutely deserving of it. And in my opinion, this is why I like the game, the atmosphere of college football better, but I like kind of the setup and the format of the NFL just a little bit better. And the reason
mhm,
why I say that is because a team like Oregon, they lost one game, you know what I'm saying, already. And it's kind of like their national championship hopes are a little bit up in the air. I mean, they still are a great team and they still have a shot. Don't get me wrong.
mhm.
But it's like, it just sucks that, a team as good as Oregon, somebody has to lose. You know what I'm saying? There's no ties in
Right,
college football.
right.
Somebody has to lose, and it just sucks that a great team like that can lose a game like that, and then if essentially their chances at winning the national championship take a little bit of a hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But whereas in the NFL, you lose 3, 4, 5 games, 6 games in the season, and you still very much in the hopes of a Super
yeah,
Bowl run. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Mhm.
so that's why I'm happy that it's expanded to 12 teams in a couple of years. I
Next
agree
year,
with Malik.
next year.
Next year, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
agree with Malik. I think college football in the NBA. I might go NFL next. I probably go NFL next and then NBA. But I understand where he's coming from. In my opinion, I think those are the top three for me
Yeah,
for sure. But back to the game though, Michael Penix Jr. Man, gotta be a Heisman front runner right now.
yeah,
Everybody, it should be universal.
absolutely.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It should be universal. It should be that the season ended today. It needs to be a unanimous choice.
Mhm.
Hey, they've been outstanding.
I agree.
Um, I'm gonna have to give you your credit and your props. You told me before the season. You said look out for Washington. You
Yep.
said I think Washington got a good team. Then I told you. I said I don't know. I don't watch West Coast football, so I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't watch. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch people that play at 10 or whatever. But I've seen
Yeah.
them a couple times this year. Them boys got hoopers. I didn't
Yeah.
know they wide receivers was built like that. Them boys got
Mhm.
hoopers. And then shout out to Oregon too. I got to give Oregon a little bit of credit. I've seen them a couple times this year. I think I've seen them play 3 games.
Yeah.
Um, but man, Oregon, they looked absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
Um, Quarterback play is off the charts. Troy Franklin, whew, that's a
The
dude
boy
right there.
tough.
And like you
Yeah.
said, yeah, that's a good team, man. So I agree. I it was a great game.
Yeah. Nah, man. It was great. I mean, pretty much I agree with everything you said, man. I thought it was a great game. I thought both teams played their hardest. And I think Josh said it in the comments a second ago. The good thing about this is if Oregon wins out and Washington wins out, we'll see these two play again in Las Vegas in the Pac-12 championship. And I think that's probably what we're going to see because USC, we'll talk about them in a few minutes. They're just not it, bro. I mean, it's pretty much Oklahoma all over again. So we'll talk about them in a few seconds. But yeah, man, kind of pretty much same thing. I thought Rome Duze, I might be saying his name wrong. I thought he was tremendous, bro. I mean, he was like 7-Eleven, bro. He was open every single time. Same with Jalen Polk, man. He was open every single time. No wide receivers, they got Jalen Polk and Rome Odunze or whatever his name is. Both of them guys, bro. Dogs. They gonna make plays on Sunday, man. That's just what it was. Phoenix Jr. once again, like you said, Heisman front runner, especially after the fall of Caleb Williams last weekend. I mean, I don't even think it's really close. I would put Jaden Daniels up there because he's had just as good as a season stat wise, but they don't have the wins. We already know how this thing goes. If you got 2 losses, 3 losses, you ain't winning no Heisman, bro. Let's just be real here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. But I think Michael Penix Jr. is on his way to winning a Heisman. And I'm happy for that guy because he's been through a lot. Even when he was at Indiana, towards ACL like 2 or 3 times. Now he's at Washington. And now he's seeing the fruits of his labor. So I'm extremely happy for that guy. And it was a good game. But I think we're going to see that team play again. Let's go ahead and talk about it. This is why I'm talking about the Pac-12. Let's talk about USC real quick because they absolutely got boat raced. It was bad, bro. I mean,
they got what?
They got boat raced, bro. It was bad, bro. Like they took them to the woodshed, man. USC just got absolutely obliterated by Notre Dame, and it was a good win for Marcus Freeman. I kind of like that dude, so I'm really kind of excited for him because for one, he's a brother. For two, I felt like if he lost that game, he wouldn't have been on the hot seat, but they kind of would have been on him. You know what I'm saying? With losing to Louisville and then turning around and losing to SC, that would have been a problem. Yeah. But their defense is really, really good. I mean, I think Sam Hartman only had like 120-something plus yards of passing, and they still just absolutely dominated. Caleb Williams. 126. Yeah. Caleb Williams threw 3 picks. He was absolutely horrendous. I've never seen him that bad in his whole career. He was terrible. And they blew the game. So I guess my question for you and for myself is USC now just what Oklahoma used to be? Like great offense, but if the offense stinks, it's over. Like that's pretty much what USC is. They're never going to win a national title at this point if they don't fix that defense.
Honestly, you can say that. I mean, I think, but at the same time, you know what I mean? We kind of know why, it's kind of like that. And I'm not trying to vilify anybody when I say this because I still think he's a great coach, but Lincoln Riley don't really care about defense.
He don't care about defense.
That's good. It's pretty much what Lincoln Riley cares about: one position and one position alone. And well, actually 2 positions.
Quarterback and wide receiver.
Quarterback and wide receiver. Exactly. That's it. Yeah. That's it. That's all he's ever cared about. And don't get me wrong. That's kind of why I think a lot of people are saying that maybe he needs to go to the NFL because in the NFL, that's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody can play defense, but you get you a good defensive coordinator in the NFL, you'll be fine. But and then you focusing on the quarterback and wide receiver, you're straight. You know what I'm saying? But let me read what Denzel said out loud real quick. So Denzel said our defense is garbage and Caleb Williams having to play a good defense that forces him to drop back, it would be a struggle. I knew it was coming. Lincoln Riley effect, and I never wanted him. Woo! See, that's hot. Now that's hot. Now see, and see the thing about it is, and that's why I didn't want to vilify Lincoln Riley because this is why he probably needs to go to the NFL. That's got to be because in college football you got to play a little defense, bro.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you can name me. You might be able to, but I can't think of a national champion whose defense wasn't at least above average.
Or at least average. I think the last defense that was just kind of average was maybe the 2019 LSU team, but even
that's what I was gonna say.
They were at least average though. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
I felt like they was. I don't remember them being sorry though. You know what
No,
I
they
mean?
weren't terrible. No, they
Like
had who was all on
they
that
had.
LSU 2019 team? They had Patrick Queen,
Shoot, I'm trying to think.
Chason, what was his name? Kavion Chason. They had him. He was really
Oh,
good.
that's right. Yeah. Off the edge,
Derek
right?
Stingley Jr. was on that team as well. So even
Yep.
with that team, they had
They
guys.
had some NFL talent.
Yeah, USC. I can't think of one defensive player besides Bear Alexander that's worth anything. Honestly, like I'm just being real.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Like it.
some people
I,
might say Damani Jackson, but like, is he really even good? Like, I don't really. USC just don't have none on defense, bro.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like it, and like you said, are they the new Oklahoma? Yeah, they the new Oklahoma
Yeah,
because they got Oklahoma's coach. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
This is Lincoln Riley's doing. This is him. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree, man. Ultimately, until they fix that defense, until it becomes at least average, you know what I mean? They're not going anywhere. And I think it's already hard enough when the Pac-12, you got high flying offenses everywhere. You know what I mean? And then it's already hard enough for them to even make it into. Well, they'll make it now from here on out. But well, actually, no, they go into the Big Ten. Now that I think about
They
it,
ain't
but
going
even
to the
still,
Big Ten. Yeah.
yeah. But even still, it's gonna be hard because you got Ohio State to compete with, you got Michigan to compete with,
Mm-hmm.
and now you got Penn State who's on the rise to compete with. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So how are they gonna let 4 teams out of 12 make it into, you know what I'm saying, that 12 team college football playoff? I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to square up that defense. Or
Yeah.
or like you said, they just gonna be playing in the bowl game from, for the rest of their Lincoln Riley tenure.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, pretty much. I mean, yeah, you pretty much hit it on the nail, man. That's pretty much where I am with USC. Until they get a defense, man, it's gonna be rough selling. Now, you
Mm-hmm.
gave me credit about Washington. I want to give you credit about a team because you told me in the preseason you need to watch out for this team. The North Carolina Tar Heels, they're really good, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like they are a legitimate team. That defense is actually like top 50 right now or top 60, which is kind of what you said. As long as that defense is average, they're going to be able to have a lot of success.
Yeah.
And literally what you said is coming true. You said this team was a top 15 team before the season even started. And I
Yeah.
thought you were crazy, but you were spot on, man. Like this team has improved. Drake May's not even playing his best football right now. Tez Walker, I see why they was crying for that kid. He's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
is amazing. He is really good. That defense is swarming all over the place. They're making plays. I'm telling you now, bro. I think Florida State fans think they're in the clear. And I don't
No.
know if they're in the clear yet.
No.
Like, I
No.
think the gap between Florida State and North Carolina is like this. It's
Yeah.
close. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I might say North Carolina's better than Florida State, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I watched that Syracuse game with Florida State, and they just kept letting them hang around.
Yeah.
North Carolina absolutely obliterated them
Dominating them.
from jump. I'm telling you now. I don't think that gap is that big. I think it's North Carolina, Florida State, 1A, 1B, bro. And you were right. I got to give you credit. You were right about that completely.
Yep. I'll be honest with you too. When we look at the ACC as a whole, I like where it's at.
Yeah.
This gonna be a crazy take, but in my opinion, what I would personally like to see is if somehow North Carolina and Duke could match up in the ACC championship. I know they play already this season,
Yeah.
but if they played, 3 games later in the championship game, I think that would be nice. I don't see Florida State losing twice.
Yeah.
Duke has already lost a game.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, actually, they didn't lose in the conference.
They have,
But
you're
yeah.
right. You're right.
So
They play Florida State this week.
okay. So well, shoot, you never know. Duke
You
might
never
mess
know.
around and
Yeah.
beat Florida
And we don't
State.
know
Yeah.
we don't know what
Yeah.
Riley Leonard's situation is either. We
Yeah.
don't know what that is.
So I mean, looking at North Carolina's schedule coming up, you got Virginia this week.
That's a dub.
Or excuse me, next week. No, this week. This week. You got Virginia this week. You got North Carolina, or excuse me, Georgia Tech next week.
Now they've had
Um,
trouble with Georgia Tech though, but I think they should
yeah,
win that game.
yeah. And then you got Campbell the week after that.
That's a
And
dub.
then that's where they get into Duke, Clemson, and then North Carolina State. And so my thing is, I said I felt like Duke or North Carolina could start 8-0. That's where I had them. I had them
Yep.
starting at least 8-0.
Yeah.
I think they can get there. I think they can get there. Shoot, actually, they might start. That'll be. I think they can get to 9-0 actually
Yeah,
because
I was
they
about to say
can.
I would probably say
Yeah,
9
9-0.
likely.
Yeah. So 9-0 is where I see them getting, and then that last 3 game stretch is where I say they was probably going to struggle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, I do think they're at least the second best team in the ACC. A lot of people have asked recently, what happens if they run the table and they win the ACC championship game? And I know what happens.
Yep.
They're in the college football
They're
playoff.
going to the college
I don't,
football
I
playoffs.
don't
Yeah.
know, I don't know why people think that they would, for some reason, leave out a Power Five undefeated conference championship. That's
No,
not going to
they're
happen.
not. No.
North Carolina is absolutely going to, even if they just stay at 10 all season, they'll put them at 4 to put them in the college
Mm-hmm.
football playoff. It has to happen.
Well,
They're
on top of that, not to cut you off, they would have to beat Clemson, which the country still thinks is old Clemson, and they would have to beat Florida State, who's ranked number 4. They're getting in
yeah,
the playoffs if they win out.
they would
They're
get
in
in.
there. Yeah.
So I just think, and then they have to beat a Duke team, a good Duke team.
Yeah, and a good
So
team. Exactly.
I'm excited for them. I want to see it happen. To be honest with you, I do want to see them. I would like to see it. I feel like it'd be a nice change for these basketball schools to kind of look good in football.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm excited for them, man. I hope they keep going. I hope I don't jinx them, but
I mean, no, you've
yeah,
been singing their praises since the summer. So I don't think at this
yeah,
point it's a jinx going on. You've been praising that. I didn't even think they would be a top 25 team this year. And I was absolutely wrong about that. They look like a top 10 team. And like I said, I don't think they're far off from Florida State either.
hmm
So no, you were pretty much spot on about that, man. I think UNC's offense is really good, and their
yeah,
defense has improved vastly. And like we talked about, as long as their defense could be just okay, they could last. Because when you look at it, what offense can go toe to toe with UNC right now in the ACC? I don't really see none. Florida State, maybe. But besides that, I don't see an offense that can go toe to toe with North Carolina in the ACC. I don't. I don't
yeah.
see one
I'm
offense that
trying
can
to.
really go toe to toe with them. So
I don't see
again,
nobody. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I really just think I'll be rooting for Clemson, obviously. When we play them, I'm obviously gonna be rooting for them. But if they get past Clemson, man,
hmm
I think they're going to the playoffs, bro. I'm gonna be straight up. They come down to Clemson and beat Duke. And if they come down to Clemson and beat Clemson, if they beat Duke, obviously, and then turn around the next week and come
And
down and
beat
beat
Clemson.
Clemson,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I would, and especially if they do it like big time, like they don't even just barely beat us, they annihilate us or beat us by
Yeah.
game. Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking them over Florida State for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, they're probably going to the college football playoff. But
Yeah.
big for UNC, man. If they beat us, I'll definitely be rooting for them because
Yeah. Me too. Me
I would
too.
definitely rather see them in the championship than Florida
Florida
State,
State.
in my opinion.
I agree.
So,
I'm rooting for both. Honestly, as weird as it sounds, I'm kind of rooting for both North Carolina and Duke
and
to
yeah, same.
just to see
Yeah,
what happens.
yeah, no,
Because we was
same.
talking about both of those things. I mean, we even called it before week 1. We didn't think we was gonna lose to Duke,
Yeah.
but we absolutely said that Duke was a solid squad. You know what I'm saying? So I would just like to see them continue on that journey.
Before we transition over to Clemson, this guy asked, "Do you think Clemson can beat Duke?" What's your opinion on that?
North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean Duke. I said no Duke,
Yeah.
Lord. Do you think Clemson can beat North Carolina? Excuse me, I was thinking about Duke. Do you think Clemson can beat North Carolina?
So this is one of those things where I'm trying to give an example.
Mhm.
The reason why I say yes is because pretty much we've owned North Carolina for the last I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I know it's a different team. I know it's a different, squad, different kind
yeah,
of regime, new quarterback and all that. But it's just one of those things where going in even last year, going into the ACC championship game, I was telling people, I said, I don't know, man. I don't know. North Carolina had a good offense this year. Clemson been a little shaky. You know what I'm saying? But then we ran them out the stadium. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know if that would happen this year, but I can see it happening again. You see what I'm saying? And it's just the fact that it kind of reminds me of God, I'm trying to even think of an example of somebody who's good, but they just can't beat a certain team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it happens. I just can't think of who it is. But I just feel like that's. Do I think Clemson can beat North Carolina? Absolutely. I think we can beat a lot of teams. Will they do it? That's up to Dabo, Swinney, and the coaching staff.
And we about to jump into them in a few seconds. Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I think it's a chance. I've been, in my opinion, I think there's a chance for Clemson to beat UNC. Do I think it happens? I don't know.
Yeah.
Clemson does have a top 10 defense right now in the country, literally at every single statistic. I think the Duke game is going to be a good measuring stick for Clemson because Duke's defense is actually like top 10 in the country right now as well. They're ranked above Georgia right now in defense. So shout out to Mike Elko. He's doing a tremendous job, man. But again, bro, I think the Duke game is going to be a good measuring stick for me to see if Clemson is ready to be able to be, because Clemson's defense is immaculate. They've been great this year. Like it's just the offense has been too. I mean, last week, for example, Clemson had Wake Forest. Wake Forest was in Clemson's red zone 5 times last week and they only got 1 touchdown. That's tremendous. And a lot of that was because of the offense kept turning the ball over and all that type stuff. So I think there is a chance for, Clemson to, beat North Carolina. If I had to choose today, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say no. We probably lose like 30-28. If I had to say today. And I'm going to jump into this. Why I want to get to this comment, though, man. Appreciate you. This guy said he's been looking for some brothers in the college football podcast space. Salute. Hey, man, appreciate you. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, man. We appreciate your love and support, and we thank you, man. But let's go ahead and jump into Dabo Swinney and Shane Beamer. So we're about to talk about the state of college football, really in the state of South Carolina right now. Let's start off with Dabo first. Listen, before I even go in, because I know it's probably some Clemson people listening to this, listen, I will always and forever have a utmost respect and love for Dabo Swinney. He's brought me the most sports joy in my life. Literally. He's brought me them. Clemson is my favorite sport team. I say this all the time. Like Panthers, Hawks, Braves, they all go behind Clemson. Clemson is my favorite sports team, and he's brought me 2 national championships. I can never hate Dabo because he's made me so happy sports-wise. He's brought me 2 of the happiest moments sports-wise in my life. So I'll never hate Dabo Swinney. But I got to be honest as well. I'm not going to sit up here and just smooch butt because I like the dude and all that. Dabo Swinney had a horrible comment yesterday. Dabo Swinney talked about unrealistic expectations. He said, we're at a point, and this is quote, by the way, we're at a point where if you don't go undefeated, you're a loser. You're terrible. And that is just such a terrible mindset. And honestly, maybe we need to lose a few games and lighten up the bandwagon. Sometimes the bandwagon gets a little full. That is one good thing about going through a little so-called adversity. You really find out who is with you and who is not. Dabo. Cam, let me ask you a question. Who was on video back in August saying 15 out of 15? Who was saying that?
15 out of 15.
Yep. 15 meaning go 15-0. Who was saying that?
I guess it was Dabo Swinney.
Who was saying back in August, every class that has came through this program since 2014 has won a championship of some sort? Who said that?
Dabo Swinney.
Again, who makes up the standard at Clemson? The best, quote unquote, is the standard. Who does that?
Dabo Swinney.
So again, I say this to say that you are the one who has created the expectations. Don't get up here and hype us up every offseason and say we're gonna win. We're trying to compete for championships. We're not the one putting out videos of saying, "Hey, let's go 15-0, and we're gonna go 15-0." Every team that I've had since 2014 has won a championship of some sorts. The fans are not doing that. You are. So why are you getting mad at the fans for saying you're saying the best is the standard, but you're not giving us the best? So
right.
I don't really get the issue. If he would have came out this year and said, "Hey man, I think we got a good team, man. I just want to compete in every game and work hard and get better every week," I would have no problems with what he just said. None whatsoever. But Dabo, you have created the expectations. You have. And it's a positive because of the success you've had. You've created the standard. You've created the expectations. Don't sit up here and get mad at the fans because we want to win. I'm going to tell you now, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I'll go ahead and say it, and I hate this because Clemson is my favorite team. If Dabo Swinney is the coach at Clemson University, we ain't winning no more national titles. Y'all can just let that dream go. It's joke. With an attitude like that, it's over. We're not winning any more national titles. And if you think Bama's going to take you with that type of attitude, because I know that's where wants to go next, they seen that yesterday and said, "Oh, no, thank you." No, thank you. We're not calling Dabo. He's not going to get in the portal. He's not going to use NIL, and also as well, he's not going to have come in here with a winning attitude. Oh yeah, no, they're not taking no chance on him. So as long as he's at Clemson, and I said this to myself this morning, get ready for 8 wins. Get ready for 9 wins. Get ready for 7 wins. This guy does not have the heart to win anymore. He doesn't care about winning national championships no more. He doesn't care about being elite. He's got his 2 national championships, and he's good with that. So I think now, at this moment right here, after he said what he said yesterday, every Clemson fan should just go ahead and say, we're back to being the middle class. Yeah. That's what we're heading back to. Clemson is heading back to being the middle class permanently because your coach no longer cares about winning. He cares about developing young men, which that's great. That's great, bro. I love that he wants to develop young men and make them better. I mean, that's great. But also as well, being on a big-time football campus like Clemson and not winning national championships when you have done it in the last couple of years and saying, "Oh, we don't care about winning anymore," pretty much. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't rock with Dabo for that. And again, I love Dabo. Always will. But I can't sit up there and let you slide by saying that when you literally just 2 months ago were talking about 15 of 15. Oh, we need to win every game. I can't get behind that, Dabo. I'm sorry.
Nah, I can't either. I mean, like you said, he's the one that said man. He's the one that said best is the standard. Like you just said, he's the one that said that. So how you gonna go from best is the standard, printing that on every T-shirt, having that written all across Clemson's campus? You know what I'm saying? BYOG, all of that stuff.
Yep.
But yet now you saying that the fans ain't real fans because they mad that you losing. You know what I'm saying? We not lose, bruh. This is the 3rd year in a row that we done lost 2 in the regular season, at least 2. Before that, we was going either undefeated or losing 1. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You lose 2 in the regular season, you got the national championship picture.
Yeah.
Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be like that. Nobody wants to be a team.
Right.
Nobody wants a team, especially when you was in the national championship. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you was playing in it. God, how many years in a row did we play in it? 5, 6 years in a row?
They were something crazy like that. For like 6 years straight.
Oh, we was in the playoffs. We made it. We made it 7 times.
From 15 all the way to what?
21.
21, yeah.
No, 20.
One of them.
20.
But we was in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, we played in the national championship in 15, 16, 18, and 21.
Yep.
Or 20, I guess. Yeah, 20. It'd be 20. Yeah. So we played, and then we played in the playoffs in between those years.
Yeah.
And after that. So, yeah, it's just, it's not right. What he said was very much how do I put it, man? It was complacent. It was,
Yeah,
and I think it's honestly, I think it's unfair to the fans that you get up there and say some stuff like that. And one thing about him, he says things like that all the time. And I feel like if there's anybody in the college football landscape right now that needs somebody to really be next to them and say, "Hey, before you speak, let's talk about your thoughts and let me tell you what to say
yeah,
before you say it." You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because everything that he says gets critiqued, and sometimes it don't be that bad. Sometimes it is that bad,
yeah.
but he needs to really stop saying certain things. Too much talent on the roster to just be mediocre. On the
And I
defensive side, at
100% agree.
least. On the defensive side, at least, yeah.
Yeah,
And then offensively, yeah, I guess you can say that running backs really good. And then you got a couple wide receivers that's in there that's straight. But I mean, man, I just it's embarrassing to be honest with you. Like I just remember when I was there. I always talk about it because that was you said it. That was the best sports memories you ever had. Think
yeah,
about me being on campus during
yeah.
that time. You
You
know what I'm
know, you
saying?
was with it. Yeah,
Bruh, like the
yeah,
every single game. Man, I was on TV for a couple of games because I they kept painting the student section. I'd be right there in the front. Like
yeah.
that's where I was at. You know what I'm saying? And I just think about, like you said, those are some of the best memories. But now you telling us that pretty much that we ain't ever gonna achieve that again. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's a good thing for you to be saying,
No.
especially to your fans, man. So
And, yeah. I used to have this undeniable faith in Dabo that he's gonna get it right. I've lost all that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've lost any faith in Dabo as far as like getting us back to a national championship. Going into next year, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all now. I expect an 8-4 season, like 8-4, 9-3 at best. That's kind of where we're at. And if you have an attitude like Dabo, just pretty much saying we don't care about winning no more because we want to get rid of fans for being spoiled, then you don't care about winning no more,
so
bro.
I'm saying I think that's lame too.
It's
I'd have
very
had a couple
lame.
fans.
It's
I'd have had
very
a couple
lame.
fans say something to me, cause yeah, you too. We say
Yeah.
something to both of us about being too hard on the team and being too hard on the
Listen,
coaching
with
staff and the
Clemson
players.
fans, man, I'll say it now, and I don't care. I'm a Clemson fan myself. Clemson fans are under a freaking cult. You can't say
Yeah,
anything bad about Dabo
about
or they'll
Dabo.
jump all
Yeah,
on you. And I'm a
yeah,
Clemson fan. Like you can't give any type of criticism. The dude
yeah.
has missed on any transfer portal guys. He's missed on completely. He's missed on a lot of recruiting. A lot of guys, like think about all the 5-star wide receivers we had even after Justin Ralston. Nangala was a 5-star. He was trash. All these guys, we Frank Ladson was a 5-star.
I'm about to
He
say
was
Frank
trash.
Lasson was up there. Yeah.
Um, you know,
EJ
um,
Williams, was he a
EJ
five?
Williams was like a high 4-star, 5-star. He was trash. Like we've missed on so many. DJU protecting him for 3 freaking years, and he was like not good. Like it was just this dude has missed on a lot, and it's just. And don't get me wrong, I think Dabo's a good man. I don't think he's a bad dude at all. I think he's a good dude. I think he's a nice guy. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit up here just because I'm a Clemson fan and not be critical of what he is doing to this program.
Yeah,
He is literally killing this program by himself almost.
yeah.
Like it's to a point now we're about to become NC State. 9 wins, okay, let's celebrate. Like 8 wins, okay, yeah, that's a good season. That's what we're about to go back to the Tommy Bowden years, pretty much,
He
essentially.
he a good dude in the sense that I mean you look at some of the decisions that he's made. You know what I mean? There are decisions that it's like Disney Channel movie kind of stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Oh
exactly.
man, let me call up this dude that quit kicking for us. Come on and kick this game winner for us.
Right.
And he missed. And he done missed half his kicks since he been in the think he makes one and then miss one. You know what I'm saying? Like I think pretty sure that's what his season trajectory's on. Um think he oh you left our program but you decided you want to come back for your final year. Come on back and play for us real quick, man. That'll be our hey man, we're using the transfer portal, guys. Hey, come on, man. That's some it's some it's to me it's piss poor, it's lame.
Yeah.
I just think it's honestly I think it's very lazy to be honest with you. Like you said, he's trying to build a team of good people. But when I
Yeah,
look at the team, it's a bunch of good old boys. And unfortunately, good old boys ain't dogs. Them
yeah,
boys ain't gonna hoop. You got lucky. I had somebody tell me because I was talking about how the team look and literally how it looks. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling
mhm,
them like it's a lot of good old boys on the team. Polo
yeah,
shirts, shorts above the knee. You know what I'm saying? Sperry's. You know what I mean? Like that's what those guys look like. They dress like. And they was like, well, Hunter Renfro. Oh my God, he brought. But none of those guys are Hunter Renfro. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Trevor Lawrence was nah, but who on this team is Trevor Lawrence? You know what I'm
right.
saying? You can't name none of those guys because those guys, even though they might have looked like that, they might have fit that bill.
They had a
They was
dog on
dogs. They was
them.
dogs.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
we ain't got no dogs on the team. And like I told you, I think I told you last week, or it might have been in the Twitter space. The reason why we ain't got no dogs on the field because we ain't got no dogs in the coaching staff.
Coach staff. Yep. You right. Nah, I can't. I can't disagree with you. I want to move over to the other team in the state of South Carolina. Let's talk about the South Carolina Gamecocks, man. Man, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Shane Beamer. I actually like Shane Beamer. I'm not
I
gonna
do
lie.
too.
Even as a Clemson
I do
fan,
too.
I really like Shane Beamer, but I'm not gonna lie. There was a report that came out today that said he kicked something because he was mad because they lost the game to Florida and they blew up, like 10-point lead, and we'll talk about that in a second. But man, I'm not gonna lie, Shane Beamer, bro, I really like you, and I'm a Clemson fan. I really do like you, but you
Yeah,
got to get your emotions in control, bro. Like
sure do.
you are the program. You literally are the CEO of
Beamer
the
ball.
program. Yeah, like literally everybody in that program is looking towards you. You can't be doing stupid stuff like that,
Mm-mm.
like getting frustrated and seeing you like that. And I get it, man. Football is a game of high emotions, but at the same time, bro, like you the CEO of this thing. When you the head coach of a big time college football school, you the CEO, bro. Like you the CEO of this thing. You got to make sure the ship is going well, and you can't be even letting them see you get all mad and doing all that stuff. I think Feinbaum went in on him. He called him like a frat boy and said he's throwing a temper tantrum and all,
You
which
know,
he ain't wrong. He ain't
he ain't
wrong, though.
lying. No,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Shane Beamer, bro, you gotta be better than that, bro. Like, I actually like you for real. Like I said, I'm a Clemson fan, but I like Shane Beamer. You gotta chill out though, bro. You gotta tune it in, get your emotions together, and tune in. But that game on Saturday was ugly. I mean, they got up big. It was like 37-27 with like 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they blew it. Again, I know AB will probably like this because he a Florida fan. I thought Graham Mertz did a tremendous job on Saturday. I think that's the best game he's played of his career. He was like 30 for 48, 423 yards, 3 touchdowns. That South Carolina defense absolutely reeks. They suck. They are literally ranked. Their pass defense is 133 out of 133. They absolutely stink. And this kind of goes back to my second point, or my first point, really. I don't know if South Carolina's making a bowl game this year, bro. I'm gonna be straight up with you. They got Missouri next week. Missouri's 5-1 and looking really legit. And 6-1, excuse me. They're 6-1, and they beat South Carolina at their place last year when they were not that good. Then after that, they play Texas A&M. Texas A&M is not great, but they look better than South Carolina right now. Then they play Jacksonville State, should be an easy dub. Then they play Vanderbilt, should be an easy dub. They've always struggled with Kentucky, always. And I think Kentucky is better than them. They're 5-2, and then they play Clemson last game of the year. I still think Clemson's a tad bit better than them too, as well. I mean, we're looking at a season where they just came off a great season. They might go 4-8, bro. Like
yeah.
they might
After
not win
being
2 more games.
yeah, they was what 8-4 last year,
Yeah,
or 9-3.
they were 8-4.
Had a great season last year, and then followed it up. I did want to touch real quick on that Shane Beamer stuff. I
Yeah.
think I think it's very. I can't believe I'm about. Actually, I'm not even gonna say that because I don't like dude. Um, but what you said earlier about that dude that be on TV, that bald head, the shiny dude, what he said,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I mean about the him being a frat boy. I mean it makes sense. It adds up. I mean he's very he's a player's coach. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's I think sometimes they get some coaches in trouble because it's not like a and I mean, a lot of coaches, especially in college football, they are players coaches, right?
Yeah,
But I feel like Shane Beamer's that type that be, you know, arm around you, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Type coach, you know what I mean? Like joking with you, you know what I'm saying? Tickling you, all of that stuff. That's the
yeah,
type of coach that he is. You know what I mean? Nick Saban, in my opinion, he's a players coach in the sense that he always gonna vouch for his players and he always gonna have their back. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But see, Shane Beamer, that's you got to draw a line. You got
Yeah,
to say you got to draw a line because now how your players gonna look at you? You was just dapping me up, tickling me. You know what I'm saying? Talking about my drip and all of this, but now you throwing me under the bus, and now you done broke your foot because you mad at me. Like how I'm supposed to look at you after that? You know what I'm saying? Like how do I even approach you as a coach after that? You know what I mean? You got to draw that line. And I think, like you said, he need to mature a little bit. He's
yeah,
pretty young. He just need to grow. Continue growing. He's a young coach. I mean, it's like you said, he's the culture for South Carolina, and I've never seen them rally around a coach like this since the
mm-hmm.
last couple of years of Steve Spurrier's career. You know what I mean? I've never seen Gamecock fans actually talk about you know what I mean, like Beamer ball is what they be talking about. So um, but yeah, as far as a season goes, like you said, Missouri, Texas A&M, Jacksonville State, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Clemson, they have to go 4-2
Yeah,
in the last 6 games. Missouri should be an L. Texas A&M probably should be an L.
yeah,
Jacksonville State should be a win, but you never know.
yeah.
Vanderbilt should be a win. Kentucky probably gonna be an L. Should be an L. And Clemson don't want to jinx it, so I ain't gonna say nothing. But 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 still, they have to find a way to win 4 of those games. They have to find a way to beat Missouri, Texas A&M, Jacksonville State, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Clemson 4 times. That's tough.
It's
That's
tough.
gonna be tough. And if they can pull that off, in my opinion, if they can make it to a bowl game, that's a successful season
Yes,
because
very much
that's
so. Yeah,
they had the toughest schedule in the country coming in. Um, and man, if they make it to a bowl game after that, good on Shane.
good on Shane. Yeah,
Shane, yeah, good on them. But but yeah, I just like you said, that kicking the wall and stuff. You can't do that, man. You
yeah,
can't do that at any level. At
yeah.
any level, you
Any
can't do
level.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can't
That
do
ain't
that.
gonna get done, man. But yeah,
No,
that's pretty much where I'm at with it as well. Let's go ahead and transition over to some NFL talk, man. Let's talk some NFL football. We like what a quarter of a way through the season, man.
third,
Let's go ahead.
third,
Third. You right.
we're third.
Third through the season, man. Talk to me, Cam. What's going on with the NFL, man?
So I wanted to bring up. So first and foremost, I wanted to talk about really just our way too early predictions.
Yep.
I got them right here. I don't know if I can share my screen. And show you.
It
Let me
should
see
be.
if I
Do
can
you
do
see
that.
something there that says present?
Let me do that. Yeah, I got it. Let me do
Okay.
that real quick. I'm just trying to do it in a way that ain't weird. Okay,
Yeah,
here we
no, I
go.
got you. I feel like a lot of our predictions, it depends on what we talk about because I think I said Chiefs and 49ers in the Super Bowl, and that's still kind of looking possibly promising. You know what I'm saying? Like the Niners thing, even though they lost, I still think that looks pretty good. And shout
Yeah.
out to Detroit Lions too, man.
Yes.
Detroit
Yes.
Lions
Yes.
look tremendous this year. I think Jared Goff has did a tremendous job, bro. So shout out
He's
to him.
he's a Jared Goff is probably a top 5 quarterback right now.
Yeah, I would
Um.
kind of agree.
Okay. So can you read? Can you see my screen? It's
Yeah,
kind of glitching for some reason, ain't it?
no, I see it. You're good on my end.
Okay, bet. Look like it's kind of okay. Bet. All
Oh,
right.
something
So
before we start, too. AB said I got a bone to pick with the Atlanta Falcons. Let me come off camera. Let me put this down for just a second. Keep it up though. AB said I got a bone to pick with the Atlanta Falcons. I told y'all 2-3 weeks ago. Desmond Ridder stinks. He sucks. He gave up 3 big-time turnovers in a game they really should have won. Desmond Ridder is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. I don't care what y'all say, bro. You have a generational running back like B. John Robinson, and you don't feed him in those situations when you know your quarterback's an absolute liability. Yeah, Arthur Smith, I'm sorry, bro. You deserve some type of slander on that. That's crazy. When you know Desmond Ridder is cheeks, he sucks. On the year,
Man,
he's barely over 1,000 yards, and he has 6 interceptions and 6 touchdowns. The dude is not good. He's not. And I've been trying to say that since day one, but just wanted to bring that up that I was definitely right about Desmond Ridder being trash, bro. He sucks.
and personally, I don't think he's a. I don't think I ain't no freaking Arthur Smith believer, bro. I couldn't tell you.
I'm
I
not
ain't no.
really either at this
I
point.
ain't no believer in that fool. I don't think he nobody special. Not even gonna
Yeah.
hold you. Okay, I'm sharing my screen again.
Okay, let me go ahead and
Let
put
me
it
know
back
if you
up
can
here.
see it.
Yep, you're good. You're back up.
Okay, bet. So pretty much, um, so these are our way too early predictions. If everybody can see it, sorry, I don't look fancy, but we got the
Yep.
whole list right here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and pretty much, I just want to go through, see where the teams stand right now.
Yep.
And we can just talk about, why we was wrong or why we felt like, we was gonna be right. Or why we were right. You know what I mean? Um,
Yep.
so first and foremost, let me pull up the standings for everybody real quick if I can. I'm gonna just do it on my phone. Um, okay. So hold on, conference. We're gonna do it. Yeah. Oh, division. Okay, bet. So first and foremost, we got the NFC South. So me and T, we both Panthers fans,
Yep.
and um, so third way through the season, we actually had it backwards, believe it or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. We
So
did.
we actually had it, well, not quite backwards, almost. So me and T both agreed on the order. So we had the Saints at 1, Panthers at 2, Falcons at 3, and Buccaneers at 4, right?
Yep.
But the NFC South, as it stands today, one third way through the season, the Buccaneers
Yeah.
are first place in the NFC South. Your
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Falcons are second place. Your New Orleans Saints are third place, and the Carolina Panthers are last
Last.
place, also known as 32 out of 32 in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Right.
So, but ironically, um, the order of wins is actually in reverse order of highest scoring offenses.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the Panthers are actually the highest scoring team in the NFC South,
Yep.
and the Buccaneers, who are in first place, are the lowest scoring team.
Yep.
So, with that being said, T, what are your thoughts on the NFC South so far through the season?
The NFC South is bad, just like I thought it would be. I knew it was going to be bad. But it's I mean, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much becoming what I thought. Baker Mayfield's kind of coming back to life, kind of
Yeah,
regular life, which I kind of figured was going to happen eventually. Yeah, I mean, the NFC's bad. I think the Saints are pretty bad. I don't think they're really good. The thing about the Falcons, and I just talked about them for like 5 minutes, if the Falcons had a good quarterback, they would by far be the best team on this list. They would be the best team in the NFC South by far if they had a quarterback, because that defense is top 5 in the NFL right now. They're number 4. If they had a quarterback, even if they had give me a middle of the road quarterback.
shoot.
I don't know. Just give me Jimmy Garoppolo, even though he's not really that great. I'll just say Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill, somebody like that. If they even had him, I think they would be like better. Desmond Ridder just stinks, bro. But if
Shoot,
they had a
Justin Fields. Justin
yeah,
Fields.
yeah, even they had even I don't know about him though. He's playing better, but I know he just got hurt. But if they had a middle of the road quarterback, they would be a lot better. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. They probably sitting at the top.
They'd be sitting at the top, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much what you said. I mean, it's the only division where, I mean, the Bucks just had a bye week, but I think technically they have the worst combined win percentage. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
no, the North. I think the North. It's tough. They probably tied, but basically they got 3 teams with 3 wins.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks just had a bye week, so they only got 2 losses. Falcons and Saints got 3 losses, and Carolina has lost all 6 of
Yep.
them things. You feel me? So, but with that being said, it. the reason why I feel like we kind of was wrong, and we thought it was going to be a tight race. Obviously, we overrated Carolina, which is our mistake. I won't ever do that again.
Yep.
But Saints, Falcons, and Buccaneers, they're kind of all in the same boat right now. But I think eventually, I think they all kind of stink. Like you said, I agree with what you said. The Falcons, if they just had a solid quarterback, they'd be much better. But
Yeah.
let's move on to the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. So in the East, we were we agreed. So we said Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders. But the actual rankings are Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, and then Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and say it up front. I was dead wrong about the New York Giants,
Yeah.
and ultimately, T told me in the off season, he said that I was overrating them because kind of what they did last year. It wasn't necessarily a fluke. It was just they kind of had the benefits of a solid schedule, and then the other teams in the division got a lot better, but the Giants really didn't.
Yeah.
Um, and that's where I made my mistake. The Commanders added Eric Bieniemy. I underrated that signing, which is unfortunate, but he's absolutely been a marvel for those guys.
Yeah.
The Cowboys are everything is advertised. I mean, me and T both said it. The only reason why the Cowboys are going to lose games this year is because Dak Prescott's going to throw picks, and that's what's happened. They lost 2 games because he done threw some picks. And in the Philadelphia Eagles, yeah, they lost to the Jets on was that Monday or Sunday night, whatever it was, but nobody's really caring about that. They're still one of the best teams in the NFC. So, what are your thoughts on the NFC East right now, T?
I mean, pretty much. I think the only thing that's really surprising is the Commanders. I think the
Mm-hmm.
Eagles too. Like, even though they're number one in the division, I just thought they would look better than this, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they just don't really look that good. But besides that, that's pretty much all I got for the NFC East.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like you said, it's just it's probably one of the better divisions in football.
Yeah,
I hate that for the Giants, to be honest with you, because I really was gassing them up, but they ain't look good at all this season.
I told
They
you
got
you
to
put too much faith
they
in Daniel Jones, bro. I
yeah,
tried to tell
and
you.
see, and the thing about it too is I'm not even gonna blame him
Mm,
totally.
yeah,
Now he ain't looked that great, but at the same time, man, that offensive line, bro,
stinks.
that offensive line is
Yeah,
trash.
it's bad.
You
Yeah,
feel me? And defensively, they ain't really that good either. So,
no, yeah,
um, it's just they wide receivers, they not great. Um, I'm not gonna call them horrible because
mm,
I don't know. I feel like they get open. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? I think they pretty fast. That's the thing. Obviously they got my boy Darren Waller and Saquon's been out. You know what I mean? So I
hmm
felt like they really ain't had a chance to really show exactly what they could do other than that Cardinals game.
I'm sorry,
Um,
Cam. I had to do it. AB said, didn't Cam call Daniel Jones a top 10
Hold
quarterback?
on, let me see. Hold on, I can't even see that. Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, so all right, so let me explain it. Put that back up there real quick.
yeah, I got you.
So I said that coming into the season, I could see him ending the season as a top 10 quarterback. I was dead wrong.
Yeah,
All right. Now, do I still believe in him? Do I still hope that he can turn that around? Yeah. But it's clear that he absolutely needs everything to kind of perform at the level
yeah,
of where I was saying that he should be at. And
hmm
that's the issue. That's where I didn't realize that their offensive line last year must have been something crazy for
yeah,
them for you know what I'm saying? For
mhm,
this to because with that offensive line, now don't get me wrong, it's atrocious.
yeah.
But yeah, it's not. He's talking about some give up hope. I can't do it, AB. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna hold on to it. I got to stick to it. Got to see it through. All right, let's move on to the NFC West real quick.
Yep.
We'll get back to that Daniel Jones stuff another day. But let's get to the NFC West. Now this division has actually been pretty shocking to me. Um, we got their order right. So we said 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. But honestly, in my opinion, every team in this division actually looks kind of good,
Yeah,
or at
yeah.
least,
At least
they look competitive.
formidable. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Um, I'll start real quick, just talking about the Rams. So I actually thought the Rams were going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year,
Yeah.
but offensively, man, they're special.
Yeah.
They got really the best offense, one of the best offensive minds in the game,
Mhm.
in Sean McVay, and I think that's just really what's kind of propelled them to be as great as they are.
Yeah.
Also, they draft very well. They found Puka Nakua. Who would have ever thought? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah, what are your thoughts about the NFC West?
Yeah, kind of the same, man. I think all the teams there, even the like Cardinals, even though they stink, like they at least have been competitive. I thought they would be in the Panthers' way as like the
Hmm.
0-6 team at this point, but they beat the Dallas Cowboys, which is one of the better teams in the NFL right now. And they've pretty much
Hmm.
been competitive in pretty much every single game they played this season. So I definitely got to give them credit, and they've been better. And same with the Rams. I thought the Rams were gonna be like a 1-2 win team at this
Yeah,
point. And they've got 3 wins already. Um, so again, where essentially they play an away game every single week, pretty much. Because like I said, LA, none of the LA teams have any type of home advantage at all. So yeah, man, that's pretty much kind of where I'm at, man. So I would probably just go ahead and say that's probably what's most surprising to me. But yeah, I think all these teams are pretty formidable, bro. Honestly.
yeah, yeah. And then even the Seattle Seahawks. We really ain't got to talk about the 49ers. We know what they can do.
Yeah, yeah,
Unfortunately, they lost this past weekend, but they had a lot of injuries
yeah,
come up. So and so they should be back cooking again
yeah,
here soon. But and the Seattle Seahawks look good, man.
yeah.
I like what they're doing. They had a bye week, so
Mhm.
let's move on to NFC North. Now
Yep.
this I believe you're on the right. Yeah, so you're on the right. So if you
Hmm.
can see, so this is actually the first division where me and T disagreed on.
Yep.
So the NFC North, as it stands right now, is you got the Vikings.
Yep.
Excuse me, I had the Vikings. You had the Lions, and then we kind of flopped for the second place, and then Bears and Packers, and then we swapped for fourth place. So as it
Mhm.
stands right now, so your Lions are in first place,
Yep.
your Packers are in second place, your Vikings are in third place, and your Bears are in fourth place. All
Yeah.
right. Now, T, tell me what you was thinking when you put the Lions at number one, and
I've been
how you was right.
listen, bro. I've been telling people since last year, this team got something, man. The Detroit Lions have something, and I was seeing it last year. And people just like, oh, it's the Lions. They're gonna do the same old, same old. And then this off season, they got even better. And also as well, they did a tremendous job in the draft. Sam Laporta, Jameer Gibbs, Brian Branch, who's been an absolute revelation for that team. The Campbell kid, they all hit all 4 of those picks. You know how we talked about the Panthers' success rate on draft
Yeah,
picks? All 4 of those picks look to be legit off rip. So
yeah.
again, man, I think they just hit on their picks and they improved. And I just kind of seen, I was like, this team is going to be good. Now, did I think they were going to be 5-1 right now? No, I thought they were probably going to be like 4-2, 3-3 at this point. But I'm not surprised to see Detroit being number one because I told you I think that's where they're heading. And I honestly don't think there's a team even close to them in this division. Honestly, I don't.
No, no, it's not.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna read off some stats to you. So first of all, so the Lions are tied for the best record in the game right now, which big shout out to them. Um, let's see, offensively, where do they rank? So they got the fourth most points scored in the game right now. Um, they defensively they got the best defense in the division.
Yeah.
Um, and they're the only team in the division with a positive point differential,
Yep.
which is plus 55, which is actually insane.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. Every other team in the division, so Green Bay is actually deadlocked, so they don't have any point differential. So they giving up 113. They scored 113. Minnesota is behind on 6, and then the Bears are behind on 48.
Yep.
So no team comes close. Second most wins in the division is 2. The Packers have 2. They're 2-3. The Vikings are 2-4, and the Bears are 1-5. So as far as the division goes, so I again you told me about the Vikings too.
Yeah,
Um, before the season started, you said you wasn't really buying the hype,
I was.
and I don't know. I don't know if you thought they was gonna be this bad, but man, they ain't
I
looking
knew
good
they
at
were going
all.
to be
They
bad. I didn't. They lost a lot, man. They lost a lot in free agency,
yeah.
and I just knew they weren't going to be as good as they normally were. So I'm not surprised to see where they're at all.
Yeah, I mean I was dead wrong about them. I knew the Lions were gonna be solid. Didn't know they was gonna be like this though.
Yeah,
I hope they keep that up. I like seeing teams that have been bad for so long.
yeah,
I like when they get good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So good for them. Um, Green Bay. Now, so I was wrong. So I thought Green Bay was actually gonna finish last in the division. Right now they're at second.
Hmm.
Um, it's not saying much because they're I mean pretty much one game away from being last.
Yeah,
But at the same time, I thought Jordan Love has looked good at sometimes. I think he's still going through growing pains. I think it's kind of unfortunate for him because he's in his this is year number 5, I believe,
yeah,
which means it's pretty much a contract year.
yeah,
And then on top of that, you kind of going through these growing pains. You know, suppose you struggle more than you succeed. Now your first NFL contract because they got to resign him. I think.
yeah,
But his first NFL contract gonna be pretty low. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be nothing special. So I hate that for him, but I think he's going. I think he's looked solid enough
mhm,
this year to at least be their quarterback moving forward. I think they believe in him.
yeah,
Um, so let's move up. Let's move to the AFC.
yeah,
So the AFC South is where we started.
mhm,
So we agreed here. We said Jacks, Titans, Colts, Texans. Um, well, the Jaguars are sitting in first.
yeah,
Your Indianapolis Colts are actually number 2 in the division.
hmm,
Your Houston Texans are tied for number 2 in the
yeah,
division,
hmm,
and your Tennessee Titans are last.
yeah.
So give me your thoughts on the AFC South real quick.
I think we got to talk about the obvious thing here, right? The emergence of CJ Stroud and that
Hmm.
whole situation. I didn't think they were going to be nowhere as good as they are now. They
Yeah,
completely shocked me. I didn't think they were going to be nowhere near this good because we had him on there as last. I'm not
hmm,
going to lie, man. They could end this thing at number 2 personally, because
yeah,
I think Indianapolis is going to fall off a little bit. Now, I like Gardner Minshew, but with Anthony Richardson possibly being out for the season, and Texans just look good, man.
yeah,
It wouldn't surprise me at all if Houston ends out the season maybe 7-10 and is sitting right there, or 8-9 sitting right there in the second spot. It would not surprise me at all.
yeah,
Tennessee, I'm a little surprised by them because I thought they were going to have an elite defense, and their defense has been pretty good, but that offense is just terrible. I mean,
yeah,
that's just what it is. So that's kind of the surprising things there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got for the AFC South.
yeah. I agree. I mean, like you said, with Indy losing their quarterback and that offense, I mean, AR and Gardner Minshew just two different types of quarterbacks. Now,
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew, I think he's a solid quarterback to be
Yeah, he
honest with
is. He's solid. Yeah.
you. But he's not doing. Shane Steichen got to dial the playbook back at least in terms of the run game when it
Yeah.
comes to Gardner Minshew. So the offense is going to look a little bit more vanilla, I would say.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to hurt them a little bit. So the Colts, they're probably going to slide. The Texans, like you said, they at this point in the season, I think we can comfortably say they're probably going to finish second in the division, like you said, at least. But you never know. They're only one game out of first. If I'm not mistaken, the Texans, since they finished last in the division last year. No, did they finish last or they finished? Yeah, they finished last. Yeah. So since they finished last in the division last year, if I'm not mistaken, that means they play every team that was in last place in the
Yeah.
division on their schedule. So that means their schedule is gonna be most likely a little bit easier. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So you never know. They're only one game back. You never know. There might be a chance the Texans might have to win this division, but which would be incredible for a rookie to win a division his like that. So going from first or last to first.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the AFC East. So we agreed here as well. Um, and so we said Bills, Jets, Dolphins, and Patriots. Now Unfortunately, I can tell you why we was wrong. It's because Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't expect that. I mean, nobody could have expected that, right? But the Jets are actually still performing pretty good. They're
They
three and
are.
three.
Yeah, they are. They're just a
Defensively,
game.
they're
They're just a game behind the Buffalo Bills.
yeah, 2 games. No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
They're
You're
only a
right. You're right.
game.
You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. You're right. So the order is Miami's at 1, so they're 5-1, tied for the best record in the league, easily the best offense in the league.
Yeah.
You got the Buffalo Bills 4-2, New York Jets 3-3, and then the New England Patriots at 1-5.
Terrible. Terrible.
Now, T, I want to ask you this real quick. We're gonna diverge just a little bit. Just
Yeah.
give me your thoughts on this. I seen a power ranking earlier. We haven't done one for ourselves in a while, but I seen
Yeah.
a power ranking earlier. The number 32 team in the NFL wasn't the Carolina Panthers. It was the New England Patriots. How do you feel about that?
Let me say this. The Panthers are the worst team in the NFL, but I will say this. I think New England is in the worst spot as far as for the future. Like as far as having hope. At least the Panthers have Bryce Young. Like at least they can kind of look towards the future. And that Mac Jones is garbage. He stinks. And they're in a situation where there's just really not a lot of hope. Like there's not a lot of hope looking towards their future. Like when you look towards next year, do you think the Patriots are going to be good next year? Because I don't.
Nah,
They have so
nah.
many holes on their roster. They are going to be terrible probably for like another 2 or 3 years, bro. Like they are
But
bad.
but see
Legit.
the thing about it though, T, I do want to say this too. I agree with what you're saying, but no, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. It's tough because when we look at the future, because that's what we're talking about. The
Yeah.
Panthers' future is very much tied up into Bryce Young, and
Bryce Young. Right.
I mean that like literally because we
Yeah.
traded away future picks.
Everything.
We traded
Yeah.
away, yeah, we traded away quite a lot to get Buddy. Now the
Yeah.
New England Patriots, as far as I know, they have most of their draft capital coming up into the future.
Right.
The problem is, and this is where you come in. This is what you said last week. They have the worst general manager in the game.
Yep. He's worse than Scott Fitter, and that's saying something.
Yeah, I mean yeah, yeah, he is worse. At least I would say, at least when it comes to drafting players, he's terrible.
Yeah.
He's actually trash when it comes to trashing players. What's good, Quan?
What's going on,
But
Quan?
yeah, he like you said, this team has almost no future, but just because of how terrible Mac Jones is and how bad of a GM
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is, and that's unfortunate because, in my opinion, I still think Bill Belichick is a really good head coach. I think they're a little hard on him because he's always been a defensive guy. It's always been his thing, and defensively they still okay. It's just that Mac Jones be throwing 5, 6 pick sixes. You know what I'm saying? What you supposed to do with that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he not moving the ball down the field. But at the same time, that's Bill Belichick's fault because he's the one that chose to draft him.
Exactly.
So let's move. So yeah, so that's the East. Um, do you have any other thoughts on the East?
No.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to be said. It's
It's
a
not.
great
Yeah.
division, other than the Patriots.
Yeah.
Every other team is looking for a playoff spot. I
Mm,
will say, I think Miami Dolphins. I think they're probably. I would say I'm going back to it, like we said last week. They're the best team in the NFL, in my
yeah.
opinion.
Hmm.
Um, so moving on to the AFC West.
Yeah.
Okay. So we agreed here as well. Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders. And unfortunately, we was wrong.
Yeah.
We was actually dead wrong.
Yeah.
Um the current order is Chiefs, of course. The Raiders are actually sitting in second place. The Chargers are sitting in third place. They had a bye week. And
Hmm.
then there's the Denver Broncos, who are atrocious.
Yeah. They're bad.
So do you have any thoughts on the AFC West?
Yeah. I mean, we all knew Chiefs was going to be number one. I don't think nobody's surprised by that. I think I'm mostly the most surprised by the Chargers. I mean, Brandon Staley stinks. He has not improved
Trash.
in any type of way. This guy needs to be canned, man. And if that job comes open, that is the most attractive job in the NFL. If it comes open, you have a
Yeah.
quarterback that's signed already, that's young, right? You have weapons at the wide
Elite.
receiver room, really good wide receiver weapons. You have really good weapons on defense. Bosa, Khalil Mack is having a tremendous season. He done turned the time clock back on him.
Yeah.
Asante Samuels is a really good player. They have a lot. Derwin James, probably the best safety in the league.
Safety in the game.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a lot of talent there that can be worked with. I'm telling you now, if I was the LA Chargers, I would fire Staley immediately.
Yeah.
Like, because
Today,
that
honestly.
team is too talented to be sitting here at 2-3. They're too talented, bro.
Yeah. And so my man Malik in the chat said Ben Johnson to the Chargers if they fire their head coach. Honestly, I would be so sick. I
Yeah.
would be so sick, bro. And good for him. But you got to think about it. That's two guys that Carolina missed out on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Justin Herbert and Ben Johnson, and they both in LA. That would make me sick. Um, a guy that I think might go over there is a guy who just left the AFC West, Eric Bieniemy. I think
Yeah.
that'd be a good fit for him too.
Yeah.
Think about what he would do. Think about what he would do with
Yeah.
Herbert, Eckler, Allen, Williams, Everett. You know what I'm saying? Palmer, Johnson. That's a squad, man.
He's
Joshua
got
Kelly.
talent. That
That's a
team is
squad.
way that
Hey,
team is way too good to be that bad, man.
bro, from a talent standpoint, there's no reason why they're not first in the division.
Yeah,
From a
it's
talent standpoint,
yeah,
they
it's
clear they clear the Chiefs at every position except
yeah,
quarterback, and
and
it's in
tight
a
end
gap. Yeah,
and
yeah,
defensive
yeah, yeah,
tackle. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Let me be.
Everywhere
Yeah,
else, though,
let
they're
me.
better than
Yeah,
though.
yeah. No, yeah. Let me take that back. Let me not disrespect Travis Kelsey for
Yeah,
sure. I mean, shoot, the gap between Kelsey and Everett is larger than Mahomes and Herbert. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like you know what I mean. So anyway, the Chargers have no reason not to be first in that division, but
yeah.
head
Mhm.
coaching, man, head coaching,
Yep.
coaching matters. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the
Yeah.
West. I mean,
Hmm.
the Broncos, y'all stink, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Same.
so now AFC North. Now this is the division I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah.
so so we said so I had the Ravens, you had the Browns. We both had the Bengals at second. You had the Steelers, or excuse me, I had the Steelers, then you had the Ravens. I had the Browns last, you had the Steelers last.
Hmm.
We jacked this all up.
Yeah, I mean,
We
right
jacked
now,
this
it's that
all up.
the thing about that division that's so weird is it's so competitive. Everybody's like
Yeah,
sitting on top of each other. Like the Ravens
everybody's
are
so
four
good.
and two, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 3-2, the Cleveland Browns are 3-2, and the Bengals are 3-3.
3-3.
Everybody is literally sitting on top of each other. So I think that one got to play out a little bit more, in my
I
opinion.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, that
I
one's
agree.
gonna
It,
play out a
it's
little bit more because the rest of the divisions, you can kind of see where things are heading.
hmm
Cleveland, I don't know if you've seen what they're doing defensively. They're
oh,
like
defensively they're
defensively,
elite. They're all time elite.
they're all time elite. Defensively, right now, they have only allowed 77 points in 5 games. 77 points is really good. I mean, we're talking about generational elite defense. Elite. I'm telling you now, if Deshaun Watson can get it together and come back and hoop, I don't feel bad about my Browns. I don't feel bad about my Browns prediction, bro. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't,
So
bro.
you and now I do want
And
to
you
say
shouldn't
this
feel
too.
bad about your Ravens either, because they're
No,
right
I don't. I
too.
don't. That's
Yeah.
why I was about to say. I don't feel bad about that at all. And I think personally, I think it's still going to end up that way. Um, personally.
Yeah.
Now I will say that I think the Bengals. It's tough to say because
Yeah.
I think we can both agree at this point that the Steelers are going to end up last, though, right? I
Yeah,
think we can
yeah,
agree
yeah. I
with
think
that.
we agree there. Yeah,
Um, but like you said, it's a competitive division. It's
yeah.
tough.
Hmm.
That's the real to me. That's where football is.
Yeah.
That's a football division.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a ground and pound offense with the Ravens. You got the best defense in the game in the Cleveland Browns. You got the Cincinnati Bengals who have a high flying air raid. Well, not really air raid, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They'll beat you. They're gonna beat you through the air offense.
Yeah.
And then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are just always good.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a fun division to watch. To see how it plays out. I'm sticking with the Ravens winning it because I'm not betting against number 8.
Mhm.
But I do agree that Cleveland Browns. I was wrong about them finishing last though. Their
Yeah.
defense is outstanding.
Yeah.
Um, and then lastly, let's talk about award predictions where we had them. So coming into the season, we had so I said for offensive rookie of the year, I had Zay Flowers and you had Bijan Robinson.
I think we're both wrong. CJ Stroud is definitely winning that. I think we're both
Okay.
wrong
Okay.
because crap.
Okay.
Because CJ Stroud, what he's doing right now, he just finally threw his first pick.
Pick.
And I mean, what he's doing right now. I mean, he's not. He shouldn't be in the MVP conversation, but he should be like not too far off of it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I think as of right now,
Okay.
I think Stroud is winning that pretty clearly at this point.
Okay.
I think you can make an argument for Bijan. I think Zay Flowers having a tremendous season too.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think we was far off. I think we got unfortunately. So I'll tell you who it really is. So it's Stroud, it's Robinson, or it's Puka Nakua.
Puka,
Yeah, and
Puka,
yeah. I think if it ended today, it's either Puka or Stroud.
Yeah.
But I think when you really look at it though, Bijan Robinson has been absolutely outstanding.
Been great.
Zay Flowers has been great.
Great as well.
Did
you see what Eric Mason said about your boy Zay Flowers? He said he's going to break all his records. The Ravens wide receiver or Derek Mason.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He said he's going to break all his records. Yeah.
Oh well, there you go. Then I mean,
Zay Flowers is good, man.
He's the truth. I like that. I like that combination. I think him and Lamar got a nice chemistry already building. Yeah. I think Zay Flowers is one of those guys where you just kind of want to scheme him open or let him get open. Like that's a guy that you really want to focus on right there.
Yeah.
Now he had a rough game. All the receivers had a rough game. A couple week before last.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, he's been great all year. But let's move on to defensive rookie of the year. So I said Will Anderson. You said Devin Witherspoon.
Witherspoon has been good, man.
I think you're right. So
Witherspoon has been good. I'm not gonna lie though. I probably lean Jalen Carter at the moment because he's been pretty dominant. But I think it comes down to Witherspoon and
Carter.
And Carter, honestly.
Yeah. And see, for me, the only reason why I didn't have Carter on my list at all is because I assumed
he would be like a first team. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And
but
that was my mistake.
He's probably their best defensive lineman right now.
Yeah.
Like he's tremendous.
I don't want to overstep when I say this, but I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna just go ahead and flat out say, in terms of defensive tackles, statistically, he's the best in the game right now.
He's up
statistically.
There. It's not crazy to say.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he leads the league in some stat. I don't know if it's pressures or what, but he's already up there.
Yeah,
Jalen Carter looks like a first team All-Pro. Yeah,
like Jalen Carter already looks like a first team. Yeah, I think Jalen Carter I think Devon Witherspoon has been tremendous as well. But I think if I had to say today, it's probably Jalen Carter, man.
Yeah,
he's been good.
Yeah, I agree. Coach of the year. So I said John Harbaugh, and you said Doug Peterson. I think we were wrong. I think I know who it is.
Who do you think would be?
It's golly, my boy named D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. That's actually a pretty good pick. But I think the thing with Coach of the Year though is you got to kind of be winning a little more too. So I think right now, if I had to choose, I probably would say Dan Campbell is probably going to get Coach of the Year.
Okay.
And I think D'Amico should definitely be in the conversation for sure. But I think Dan Campbell and them, they got a chance to win like 12, 13 games, bro. Like straight up.
They do.
Because their division is so terrible. I think Dan Campbell, as of right now, probably wins it at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think I can't be mad at that. I think another name might be Daniel. as well
Oh
as
yeah, with the
um
Dolphins. Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
think I think
He could be in
I
the
think
mix as well.
yeah, and then Shanahan probably in the mix too. It'll
Yeah,
probably if the season ended right now, it'll probably be between one of those guys. But I think the job that D'Amico Ryans has done has been absolutely tremendous.
yeah,
So comeback player of the year. So I had Brees Hall and you had DeMar Hamlin.
yeah. I
Now,
think that's political more than anything.
yeah,
I think they're going to give it to Hamlin regardless because he stepped on the field. But Brees Hall is actually having a pretty good season.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't think that's crazy. Like if the
If
whole DeMar situation didn't happen,
didn't happen, I
I would
think
be handing over the thing to Brees
to
Hall.
Brees Hall. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I
But
don't
I
know.
think politically they got to be like, oh, he stepped on the field after almost dying, so we have to. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna throw another name in the mix too. Cooper Cup.
Yeah, he's been good
Cooper
so far
Cooper,
since he's been back.
Cooper Cup been on a tear
Yeah,
last couple of weeks.
but he wasn't.
Um
Was he hurt last year? Yeah, he did.
yeah,
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 you're
he
right.
missed. I think he only played 5 or 6 games last
Yeah,
year.
yeah, you're right. You're right. So he
I
did get
think
hurt. Yeah,
yeah, so he
you're
eligible.
right.
I mean, even still, Geno Smith wasn't hurt the year before, and he was
Well, yeah,
eligible.
that's
So
true.
yeah, so they don't really.
Yeah,
I don't know
Cooper
how they
Cup.
look at it.
Yeah, he can make an argument.
Yeah, but no, I agree. It's gonna be DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah,
Shout out to him. I'm glad he's healthy too.
yeah, for
Uh,
sure. Yeah, for sure.
offensive player of the year. Who you got?
I put Travis Kelce on there. I think he is having a good season as always. I think you got to put Tariq Hill right now. I mean, he's tremendous, bro. I
Yeah,
mean, he's absolutely outstanding, bro. I mean,
yeah,
he's the best wide receiver in the game at this moment. I know Jefferson's not playing, but Tariq Hill,
it's Tyreek.
he's going for 2,000 yards the way he's looking right
Hmm.
now. Yeah,
I kind of hope he break the record. I would like to see it because I mean, he's dominant, bro.
yeah,
Dominant, man. You seen what he did against the doggone Panthers?
yeah,
I mean, good God, dude.
yeah,
And the funniest thing about all this, every time I say his name, I gotta bring this up. Keep in mind, he's doing all of this barefoot.
yeah.
Barefoot, well, not barefoot, but no socks in his shoes. It's crazy. I don't know how them toes survive. Um, I would agree. I think it's Tyreek Hill. But I would also put Christian McCaffrey name in there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Tyreek Hill at the season end of the day, it's gotta be him. Defensive player of the year. I think we was both we might have been wrong on this.
Yeah.
No shade to Michael Parsons, but
Yeah. He's been all
um,
right. Who would you put right now then?
it's probably TJ Watt.
Yeah.
It's probably
I think you can
that's
make a
probably
strong argument for him as well. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's who they're
Because
gonna go
how
for.
many sacks does he have right now?
He got quite a few. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up right here real quick. But yeah, I just was wondering how many sacks he has because Myles Garrett, I don't know how many sacks he's had, but he's been very good this year too. Like I said, I don't know how many sacks he has on top of my head, but
Yeah,
Myles Garrett has been really good this year.
yeah. I like that. So remember when we both said it before the season started, we both said that
Yeah,
we was gonna have Miles Garrett down, but then
yeah,
we thought about it. We thought about it.
yeah.
It was
So
like wait a minute.
Myles Garrett right now has 5.5 sacks. How much does I
Okay.
would like to know how much TJ Watt has because I
Chris
think
Jones also Chris Jones also got five and
yeah,
a half sacks.
yeah.
He also
Chris
got
Jones
five
been
and a
playing
half sacks.
well too, bro.
Oh, TJ Watt got 8.
Oh yeah, TJ Watt.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got 8.
yeah.
He got 8 sacks. He must have been hurt last year. He only had 5.5 last year.
I think he did get hurt at some points last year. So yeah.
Well, yeah, he got 8 sacks already. Another thing about him too, he got the most sacks in Steelers history
Yeah.
already. Like that's
Already.
insane. I felt like Buddy was only in the league like 5 years, but hey, whatever. So yeah, TJ Watt. Oh, hold on, messed up. Okay. For defensive player of the year, I think we can agree on that.
Yeah.
MVP. Now this is important.
Who
So who do you have for MVP? Because I think there's a lot of candidates.
there are. They are. I know a
And
couple
in
of
my
schools.
opinion,
Go ahead.
sorry,
Go
go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No,
No,
I
no,
was
no,
gonna
you
say,
good,
and
you good.
I was just gonna say, and in my opinion, I think the top few guys, I think there's only a couple of quarterbacks in there.
Yeah.
I think
No,
this is the
same.
year.
I can't pick a favorite right now. I'm gonna be straight up with you. But if I had to pick through 3 guys right now, it would be at this point Tua, Tariq
Hmm.
Hill, and
Mhm.
CMC. Like, them would be
Yeah.
my 3 guys at this point that I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, they need to be up for the MVP. So that would be my 3.
That's my excuse me, that's my exact top 3.
Yeah,
So I got Tua at 1. And the reason why I say that is because it's such
it's
a
a
quarterback
quarterback
award
award.
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I feel like because I talk about it all the time because if Cooper Cup had a won in 2021, if he won that MVP like he should have, I
Yep.
had no problem saying Tyreek Hill this year.
Yep.
But the fact that Cooper Cup had probably the best individual wide receiver season we've ever seen,
Yep.
no cap, like Triple Crown, Super
Mhm.
Bowl MVP, you know what I'm saying, still didn't win most valuable player. I think that's insane. Um, but regardless, um, I got Tua, Tyreek, CMC. Another name I want to throw in there. Hey, I forgot. I had somebody name, bro. Oh, why not? Why not? Oh, Josh Allen. That's who
Josh
it was.
Allen, yeah.
Yeah, I got,
I
and
don't
this is
think he's
great.
quite on how great Tua's playing right now, though.
No,
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I can't put him above Tua. At
no, 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 not even
He should be
close.
in the
But
conversation, though. Yeah.
yeah, I got him up there. Okay, last two: Super Bowl prediction and Super Bowl MVP.
So for Super Bowl, who did you have? You had the Eagles and the Jets. I mean, the Eagles again. I'm not really. I know they're 5-1, but they just don't really look like. I just haven't been impressed. Personally, I had the Chiefs and the Niners. I still feel pretty good about that pick at this moment. Like I still and the Jets obviously they don't have Aaron Rodgers, but that defense is legit. That
Mm-hmm.
defense is going to keep them in every single game. The Jets, that defense is good enough to literally keep them in every. If they had Aaron Rodgers, I think your prediction probably would be closer to being right.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I'm still not giving up on Mahomes and them guys. Yeah, they still playing good ball. So I still feel good. And the Niners thing, I feel really good about at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got Chiefs and Niners. So you sticking with that?
Yep.
For me,
Well, hold on. Should I stick with? Wait, hold. Let me. Matter of fact, no, I'm not sticking with that. Actually, let me reel it back in. If I had to choose right now, I think I'm taking the Niners and the Dolphins in the Super Bowl right now.
yeah. Okay.
Just to be
Okay.
real, Niners and the Dolphins.
Okay.
But I still don't feel bad about my Chiefs pick. But the Dolphins just look unstoppable, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So yeah, I'm gonna change mine all the way up. So unfortunately, I would have stuck with the Jets.
Yeah.
But man, losing your quarterback like that is
Yeah,
tough.
it's rough. Yeah.
So I'm ditching the Jets train. So I'm gonna replace the Jets with the I'm gonna do I'm I'm gonna replace them with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I think you might get I think there's a chance you get Dolphins Chiefs in an AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with the Dolphins for now, just because I want to see something new. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins
Yeah.
on the AFC side. On the NFC side, um, I kind of want to stick with the Eagles.
Yeah.
The 49ers do look fantastic.
Yeah.
But another team I'm gonna throw in the mix, your squad that you talked about, the Lions.
The Lions. Yeah. No, that's
I
not
don't,
crazy. That's
and
not
I'll be honest with you, I don't think that because Jared Goff has actually been there before. So
yeah.
I don't think him going into the play I wouldn't be scared or I wouldn't be scared that he's not going to perform in the playoffs because I think he can lead a team to a Super Bowl. We've seen it
Yeah.
happen. So um ultimately I'm gonna pick Dolphins and I'm gonna stick with the Eagles just
Yeah.
because they are 5-1 and I believed in them before the season. So I'm gonna stick with them.
Yeah. And then for my Super Bowl MVP, I would probably just go to or Tariq, honestly, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Tyreek Hill,
Yeah.
Super Bowl MVP. Yeah.
Yep. So
Because
that's
they'll get that one to a wide receiver for sure. So I'm gonna do
yeah,
that.
yeah, they will. Yeah, they would. That's all our picks, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So yeah, man, that was fun, bro. I definitely enjoyed doing that. We're gonna have to check back in later on. Maybe halfway or a little over halfway in the season. But man, once again, I know I say this after every episode, but this podcast was really fun tonight. Like I really enjoyed it. We talked about some good stuff tonight, man. Look, man, y'all continue to show love, support, and we appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, man, me and Cam talk about it all the time. The support really be meaning more than anything to us. Like just
Yeah,
showing us love on the TL and on Twitter and on TikTok and YouTube. I think we picked up some new people from YouTube today that's rocking with us. So it's just dope. So we happy to see it, man. We love y'all. We appreciate the support, man. And it's just been amazing, man. Me and Cam have really been enjoying this, man. We've been getting compliments all the time about, man, y'all really doing this thing. So I think
yeah,
y'all support is just, I don't think y'all know how big it is, but it really is great for us. So another great episode, bro. I really enjoyed this one. Like, I'm not gonna lie,
yeah,
it was really fun.
yeah. Same thing, man. Same way. I It's fun to kind of look back, especially because you said we was on what episode 14.
14, yes.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and we did them predictions, man.
I
Episode
was talking
five.
like episode 5. Yeah, right.
So yeah, I'm excited. We got NBA talk coming up next week.
Yeah, next week, if you're an NBA fan, tune in because we're gonna be heavy on the NBA talk
Yeah, because
next week.
next week is opening day actually. So
Tuesday night, Tuesday
yep,
evening
Tuesday
around this
night.
time they'll be kicking it off.
Yep,
So NBA heavy talk. We're gonna try to work on getting on the guest for the NBA talk as well
yep,
next week. But yeah, next week's gonna be heavy NBA talk, maybe a little NFL and college, but mostly NBA next week.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
excited, man. We're excited. We're growing and continue to follow us on Instagram and TikTok and y'all know the links in the bio, man. But we appreciate y'all's love, man. Cam, did you have anything else you want to say?
Nah, man, we'll see y'all next Tuesday, man.
Next Tuesday.
In the
Yep.
words of my boy Cam, my boy Drip, Tuesday night. All right. We'll see y'all, man. We'll see.
Oh my god, that boy crazy, bro. Shout out to Cam, man. He just got married
Yeah,
not too long ago, man. That's
yeah,
our
yeah,
own
yeah,
boy. So shout out to
yeah.
him, bro. Good dude. But yeah, man, we gonna holler at y'all next time. We appreciate y'all's love and support, and we will see y'all next Tuesday evening to talk some basketball, man. Should be a good one. We'll